lesson we would be talking about, I want to mention again that this is my favorite lesson because all lessons are my favorite. Um, we're going to be demonstrating how to create patterns by draping. So I got a message from one of us who sent a message asking, can all garments be draped? And I told her to send me a picture of a garment she was referring to because most times we tend to think that only dresses that have pleats or that are flowing or that are full can be draped. And I had to tell her when she sent me the picture, I said, yes, this can be draped. So you're going to see that by realizing that draping, like I established in the first few videos, is a method of garment construction, meaning you can also use it to create any form of garment. And the most interesting part is that in the physical workshop, we'll get to see how to use draping to not only create garments that have pleats and folds, but to also use them to create a simple basic garment. Remember, I said that draping is like one of the easiest way of creating garments because I can actually see what I'm creating. I can decide that I want to post this. You can do that manipulation in draping. We'll be doing all of that in the physical workshop. The world of draping is endless. However, in this lesson, we'll be seeing how you can drape your pattern. And trust me, some of the patterns that some of us work with, the flat pattern making, they were made or created from people coming about draping and seeing how can I alter this, how the shoulder slope works, how everything works. So you see that by the time I'm done draping, I will create my pattern from draping. So let's say I don't know how to draft pattern, or maybe I just use freehand. But now I'm going ahead to register for the draping workshop and I'm learning how to drape. Or even from this free workshop, I'm learning how to draft my patterns through draping. So what I need to do is to pad my dress on to the person size and then just drape the fabric as I will be doing now. Take it off, draft it on paper, and I have my pattern. That is it. Just like if I that one doesn't even need any calculation like the fast pattern making, no calculation, zero construction. Let's just get to it. So the first thing you want to do is now let me also establish that your grain line knowledge, application of grain lines. I believe that some of us have been taught that that's your lengthwise grain, crosswise grain, your true bias. It is highly important in draping. You need to know different grain lines. We would also be teaching that in the paid classes. We'll break it down completely. So first thing first, you need to have your dress forms taped down. There's a video down on our YouTube page that shows how to use drape tapes on your dress form. Okay, so you put your drape tapes there because you need to outline your center front. Very important. We need the center front. We need the bust points, which is this place. We need the center back. We need this neck pass. We need the shoulder. So that's what we're going to use when we are trying to draft a pattern by draping. And then you need this selvage part. Identify the selvage part on your fabric. What I'm doing here, when you're trying to use draft a pattern, you're advised to use calico or muslin. Calico is like the popular one that most people know. So a calico that is also not stretchy. Please don't use a stretchy fabric when trying to draft a pattern by using draping method. Use a fabric that is not stretchy. So there are different types of calico in the market. We also sell calico, so you can reach out to us. We ensure to look at the best quality and not the ones that stretch, because when you are working with a fabric that stretch, you're not really sure of the certain size. It's going to stretch out. Okay, so use the one that does not stretch. Use a lightweight. So this is not calico, but it's also a very lightweight fabric that can be used. You can use the white color. I could only get my hands on this color. That's why I'm using this. And you will notice I have a green line here. So this is with my marker. I marked from the selvage area. The selvage area is what some people call the English mouth. That's the sealed part of your fabric. So go in by 1 inch. So you can just measure 1 inch and mark it with your ruler all the way down. So remember that this is my center line. So I want to align this green line to my center line. Now I'm going to just the same way during flat pattern making, you don't draft the entire full front. You only draft half of the front and half of the back. So because I don't want to waste fabric and you shouldn't too, I am going to be drafting just half one part of the front and one part of the back, and then we'll take it to the table, get our pattern out of it, and you see how to make a pattern. So from that pattern, you can clean or finish up whatever it is you want to do and transfer it to your fabric and make your garment. Okay, so I'm going to align. Now the first thing you want to ensure is that your fabric is going, it's not starting from here because you have a shoulder, so it has to come all the way up. In fact, preferably start from the edge of this dress form, but in a way that it still covers up your shoulder part. So I am aligning that line. So let me take my paint off to this side. I'll be aligning that green line to my red line, basically aligning it to my center front. Okay, so that green line is having like a margin line for me. So pin down. You are whatever you are doing when drafting, when trying to draft your basic pattern, you are pinning down your center front first. That is like your guide. Okay, so I'm just trying to align the center front and pinning down. I'm not stretching, but at the same time, I'm ensuring that everything is firm. So I can feel the red line. That's why I'm not really lifting it up. Everything I'm doing is just to the waist. Okay? So I have this, right? I have this. You might want to go in with more pins to just secure the fabric in place so that nothing moves while you're working. All right. All right. So we have this. So we have this. Now, once you're done with this, look at my hand. I'm trying to see if this gets to the shoulder part. And yes, it does. So I'm fine. If it doesn't, you have to take off the entire pin and shift your fabric up a bit more because this cannot be short. All right. You see, I'm holding. I really need you to follow me just the way what I'm doing exactly. Okay. So my hands are dragging out the fabric because I want to move it to the side. Remember, I have a twill tape by the side. That's like this tape, this particular tape. But if you don't have this, you can also use the red lines as a guide. So I am holding down the waist. Something when you're draping, your hands need to do a lot of work. I'm trying to take off folds, but you can't take off everything because obviously you're making a darted pattern. So we're still going to have our darts. Now I'm smoothing out the waist area, meaning that probably my dart is not going to be on the waist. Maybe it's going to be on the bust. So if it's going to be on the bust, I would also smoothen out this side, pin down this shoulder area. I'm still going to snip here, but it's not yet time. Okay, so pin down the shoulder, I mean the armhole area. And then I'm going to try to smoothen this out. I'm not going to stretch it. So all the folds you have here will be taken up as a dart. Can you see this? You see how the folds disappear? Now let me hold this down more because it has gone off. So I'm using pins to hold down that side just so it doesn't come off again. Now I'm taking off the folds I have and holding it up as a dart. Can you see? So I have to ensure that the dart is what is, remember the function of a dart is to help to contour the garment to the body. So that's exactly what you are seeing here. Okay, that's exactly what you are seeing here. So I'm folding it up in the direction I want it to fold. Of course, this place will not be squeezing. I'm supposed to cut the fabric now, but I don't want to cut it because I also want to show you when the dart is on the waist. So this fold, I'll take it up into my dart. See how that's going to disappear. Are you seeing it? And then this place has to smoothen out as well. Okay. And then I'll pin down. Can you see this? Can you see how it's smooth? So even here, I still have a little bit of fold. I can come here to reduce that because I shouldn't really have any fold. Now, my pattern is going to stop here. That's I'm not bothered about whatever is happening here. Okay, I'm not bothered about whatever is happening here because my pattern is going to stop here. I'm going to cut out the armhole, but this is what you have if you are working with just a bust dart. Okay, I hope you can see it. This is our bust dart. This is the size, like it's from here, size of our bust dart. But if you are working with a waist dart, I'll show you how to move, pivot the dart right now. So, or maybe how to just shift the dart to the waist. And by the way, you can have your dart anywhere, just the same way we do for that manipulation. You can have your dart anywhere. So when I say anywhere, meaning that it could be on the shoulder, it could be on the side, it could be anywhere, not just bust and waist. So I am going to fold up my dart, or I'm going to smoothen up this area first, the side. So because I already know I am not doing, I'm not doing what? I'm not doing um a bust dart. So I allow this area flow naturally and have the bulk of the dart here. Okay. And at this point, I just so it's like what this gives me is what is the size of my dart. Okay. And of course, remember that your dart has to point to the bust point. That's why I have it like that. All right. You see how my hands help in pushing out all excess, all excess, all excess. Okay. And then I can fold. Then at this point, just take off the excess again, take off the pin, and smoothing out these areas again. Nothing is rigid. You have to make it work. Okay. All right. So I have this. I have my dart. All right. Can you see? Do you think this is quite easy? I know that you say, oh, because you're a pro, you've been doing it, but please get your hands on this. If you don't have a big dress form, get the miniature dress form and try this. Okay? And try this. So what else can I show you guys? So let's do the one that will have both a bust dart and a waist dart. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to just cut out the way it's supposed to be and get our pattern. Okay?